morning, good morning, good morning, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Hello, my darlings. Hi. You're gonna help me set up my bookshelves. You're gonna help me set up my bookshelves, and I'm just gonna go over like a little story time, okay? Alright, so I'm gonna softly speak this video because I'm filming a bit differently and I want you guys to hear me. I want you to hear me. Actually, the mic holder I have, it is for a Blue Yeti, but I'm using it for my Fi-Fi microphone because I don't have one like that for my Fi-Fi, and my Blue Yeti is actually broken right now. But anyways, we're just gonna start in this basket. It's actually a stolen Barnes & Noble basket. I used to work there, and one of the stores was closing, and I was like, can I have this basket? And the manager was like, I don't see if you take it, but technically no. And so I took it. Okay, so I don't really know how I'm gonna organize these, but this is the first book. It's called A Crooked Kingdom by Lee Bardugo. It is the second book in the series. The first one was Six of Crows. So I think we'll have a general fantasy shelf. Maybe unread fantasy. Let's just start down here in the bottom, okay? Also, excuse my attire. I'm wearing pajamas, and I'll tell you why. Basically, on Wednesday, I went to go donate some plasma. And so I went there, I filled everything out, and I felt like really good about it. I'm like, okay, I feel great, I'm feeling good. And I left. Like, okay, so you go in, you do some quizzes almost, you watch some videos, you get a physical done, and then you donate plasma. And they put a needle in your arm with long tubes, and they take out your blood, and then in this big machine they separate your blood and plasma, and then they give you your blood back. They did all of that. They did all of it. And I was fine. I felt great. I didn't feel sick, I didn't feel nauseous, I didn't feel dizzy, I didn't feel lightheaded at all. I made sure to prep really, really good. The day before, I ate lots of protein and I drank lots of water. And so I'm like, oh, I'm all set up, you know? Like, I'm good to donate plasma and then go home and relax. And so I was like, okay. I actually realized I didn't have any food to eat at home. And I'm like, okay, well, the store is right across the street. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to go get some food. Like, I wanted a Lunchable and some kombucha. And so I'm like, okay, I'll go to the store, I'll get food, I'll go straight home. And that's not what happened. No, I was in the store, I felt great, I was walking around, you know, just kind of getting stuff, and I checked out. I was on the phone with my boyfriend, Andre, and I was at checkout, I was checking out, and I'm like, oh, I really don't feel good. And that's basically like the last thing I remember. Like, I kind of remember like not having any vision, and I somehow walked from one side of the store from self-checkout to the opposite doors, and then I passed out, and I took out like a metal pole that was cemented in the ground, and I passed out, and I woke up. Well, actually, okay, apparently I was out for like 5 or 10 minutes, like genuinely like passed out, and I woke up with all these people around me. Well, actually, I woke up to this woman pouring water in my mouth. And she was like pouring like coconut water or something in her mouth. And that's how I woke up. But I woke up to that and I'm like, oh Jesus, okay. And then I open my eyes, there's so many people around. The manager is asking questions. And I actually, my vision was gone. Like in my left eye, there was like this squiggly line just like that. Just like this. And it was like if you got like Gaussian blur and you went like whew, and that's like the whole like left half of my left eye was like that, and it was like cutting out some words and I had like black dots, and I'm like, oh god. And then they called the paramedics, and actually they called EMTs. But, okay, so here's the Barcelona basket. It's very pretty. And it's one of the old ones, so I really like it. But anyways, just a quick recap on what I'm doing. I have some piles right here that I'm making of series that I know I have. The top shelf right here is books I have not read and want to read. Right here is books I have read and want to reread soon. These books are books I have read and don't plan on reading again soon. And the last shelf is books I have not read and don't really want to read. Like, very soon, you know? But, anyways. So, wait, let me open this first. I have these heavy-duty bags that I kept my books in when I moved. Because I recently moved from Utah to Oregon. Anyways, so I didn't have my vision. They called EMTs, and they got there. They're like, oh, your pulse is really faint. I can barely feel it. Your blood pressure can't be read on the machine, so I'm just gonna do it manually. And so they did it manually, and whatever. They're like, I think you're okay. I would recommend going to the hospital. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. And then they're like, okay, well, are you feeling any other pain? And I'm like, yeah, the back of my head and my neck. I told you guys when you first got here, and I did, but they just didn't listen to me. They didn't listen to me. And they're like, oh, you hit your head? That's not an EMT's job. That's not an EMT's job. That's a paramedic's job. And I was like, huh? And they're like, okay, whatever. We'll still take you to the hospital. I'm like, thanks. And so we get into the ambulance, and they take my blood pressure again, and it's like, oh, my blood pressure was under 60. It was like under 60 something. And they're like, from the law of Oregon, we actually have to call paramedics because that's too low for us to take care of you. And I'm like, huh? And they're like, yep, them's the rules. And I'm like, okay, mister, whatever. And so they call paramedics, and I'm already in this ambulance, but these paramedics have to come and then put me in a different ambulance. A book fell. And I'm like, ugh. And then they're taking like my things, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm in so much pain. Like, my head hurts so bad. And I was getting nauseous from the pain. Like, I was going to throw up. So they gave me some Zephyrin or something. And so that kind of quelled me a little bit, so I wasn't nauseous. And then I got to the hospital. They left me in a hallway for a long time, and like my right foot was completely numb, and my left toes were numb, and I was so cold, and I was like shivering, and I was in excruciating pain, and no one cared. And then they all left. They left me in a hallway, and then they left me there for like 2 hours, and then I got a CT done, and the CT basically showed that I had some bruising, like my skull and my spine was bruised from the fall, but I was okay. And so they're like, And so I left because they said I could go. I'm making a new shelf of special editions, by the way. This is Your Blood, My Bones by Kelly Andrews, one of my favorite authors ever. And so they're like, you can go. And I'm like, okay, whatever, I'll go. I leave, yada yada. Not a good hospital. I've been twice. Horrible experiences. And, whatever. But basically, also, side note, the lady that was, like, taking my information and stuff, she, like, asked me, she was like, oh, hey, so what's your insurance? And I'm like, oh, my insurance is blank. And she's like, okay. Also, this is a journal for a book I'm writing, so I'm gonna put that to the side in the basket. And she's like, no, but I see your old insurance on here. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm not covered by that. I'm not covered by the insurance. Do not charge me under my insurance. I actually have state insurance. And she's like, oh, but I'm gonna charge you under this one because it says you're covered. And, oh, bruh, girl. Huh? Whatever. She charged me under it and it pissed me off so bad. But I didn't realize because she said she'd charge me under the state insurance. But she didn't. And it's actually illegal to charge someone under insurance. They tell you not to if they're under state insurance. So I have to call the hospital and get that changed just because she didn't listen to me. Whatever. It's okay. But, moral of the story, I'm okay. I'm just taking stuff slow. I'm just existing, you know? There's not much to say about it. I'm here. I'm taking the day slow. We actually, mine and my partner's room is upstairs, and we've been sleeping downstairs, in, someone else's bedroom while they're gone, so I don't have to walk up and down the stairs. But I'm feeling a bit better, you know, like I'm feeling okay. So I've been able to walk up and down the stairs a bit more, see my kittens. They haven't been getting much attention, and now I'm just sitting here putting away my books, which I'm so happy about because I haven't been able to see any of my books in so long. I moved mid-October and it's now mid-January and I haven't had my books out like since probably like September when I packed them up, and I've been so sad because I'm like, I just want to read. Someone, for the love of God, let me read. But, you know, I'm excited to get reading again. Ooh, I'm gonna make a new shelf for writing books because I'm a writer. That'll be right there. And the first book I put on there is called Save the Cat. It's a good book, but it's like a little cliche, you know? I don't know where the first one of this is, so I'm gonna put this to the side. Oh, I did get this series though. Okay, I need to put this up. So this is actually one of my favorite series of all time. I don't know how I feel, like, it's called Nevernight by J. Kristoff. And it is my, like, one of my top series of all times. It's a little weird, the situations that this girl's put in, especially because she's 16 in these books, and there's, like, very, very explicit, like, sex scenes and drug use and alcohol and whatever. It just feels a bit weird, so, like, because in my head, she's, like, in her 20s, you know? Like, that's what she should be for the things she's going through. But, so, I don't know how I feel about her age and the author, because I don't know. But it feels a little weird to me. But, I still love the books. And when, like, if I decide to read them again, which I probably will, I've read them so many times, she's just older in my mind, because she really just should be. But, oh, and then these are actually some literary magazines. Oh, and a piece of artwork I did. I don't know if you can see that. So, we got Writer's Yearbook 2025, Writer's Digest, Writer's Yearbook 2024, and then Poetry and Writers. So, put those up here. I'll lay them flat for now. Oh, and then Writer's Digest and Poets Writers. So, I'll just lay those flat right there, and then I'm gonna look through this. Go to place, interact with the blue orb, kill blue zombie. So these were actually the notes for Call of Duty Zombies. And then, some writer points, like things I wanted to talk about on my writer social media, which I need to go back and look on. And yeah, basically, do you want to hear some of the stuff? Max ammo, -7 tower, UO with explosive, ×2 biolabs, 3rd floor, white boxes on desk, shoot. Dead wire needed, top of prison, 2 spotlights, 1 left, the quick revive, building, 2 engineering just outside the room. It's just a bunch of notes about Call of Duty Zombies. Which, I'm a sucker for Call of Duty Zombies. I love that stuff. Oh, I found the first book to this one. It's 1 Dark Window and 2 Twisted Crowns. I really want to read that. So they're going up on the top shelf. Alright. And then, I have Where the Crawdads Sing, but I heard it's a gorgeous book. But I'm just not really a big fiction reader. The only fiction book I read and really truly enjoyed was The Secret History. Oh, and then I'm gonna have a poetry shelf up with my writer shelf, I think. This one is called She Followed the Moon Back to Herself by Amanda Lovelace, which she's really cool. I don't really know. Chat, we got our guitar. Let me tell you, this was one of my favorite series. This was one of my favorite series before I knew what good literature was. I love the memories of reading them, but I tried to read them again and I just can't. The book that actually set apart what distinct in my mind what bad and what good literature was called The Forest Girl, or The Girl of the Forest. It's where this girl, girl's brothers turn to geese or swans or something, and she has to hand knit them each sweaters from these really painful poems. But I highlighted the book. It was really good books when I read it. Oh, and then I have the special editions of all the Twilight books. I'm a sucker for Twilight, and I also have most, if not all of those, annotated. Ooh. I have On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean Vuong. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, I'm sorry. And then Emily Dickinson's Envelope Poems. I believe this is poetry, the On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous. Either that or fiction. Oh, and this is Will Clock's Latin, when I decided to try to learn Latin. And, well, I think maybe eventually I will. I just couldn't find the motivation. And I actually kind of want to learn French now. But I think I'm going to put this on the very bottom right here. Perfect. Okay. Oh, this is book number 4 of the Harry Potter series. First editions, but kind of fucked up because like the first person who had them like wrote all over them, got stains on them, whatnot, and then I bought them, or my dad bought them off Facebook Marketplace. Oh, I really am interested in these books because they're just gorgeous. It's called The Night and Its Moon. It's fantasy by Piper C.J. That reminds me of something. Oh, this is Kingdom of Ash, a Sarah J. Maas book. I'll organize all her books once I have them on the shelf. But right now I'm just gonna throw them on. This one was The Hunger Games. Good book, you know. Solid. I think I read the first two, but not the not the last one, or not like the last 1.5 one, but yeah. Anyways, this video is getting a tiny bit long, so I'm going to move over to a time lapse, and I do thank you all for watching, and I'm sorry about the interruption in my posting schedule, especially when I just got one like down, but yeah, thank you all for subscribing. It's crazy that there's like 200 of you now. That makes me feel so seen and like real. I don't know if that makes sense, but alright guys, so this is what I have so far. These are my bookshelves. As you can see in the books that I've read and plan on reading soon is the biggest shelf, and those are the books I really want to read.